right? At that
Yeah.
point.
Oh, was it one of his close peeps that gave it out?
No,
Assuming.
he gave it to Timu.
Oh.
He left it on the you know where you put the pictures, the reviews. He put it there.
Yeah.
That's where he got his dress from Timu.
Is he still alive? Yes, he's still alive. They did a wellness check on him. He's needing to get a 5150 done at this
And people
point.
that say that, they don't, like, people that, unfortunately, that do that don't talk about it beforehand generally.
Exactly what I said last night in my live is that people that truly are going to unalive themselves don't talk about it, they just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally was like, I'm not going to do it until Chloe's here. Like, bro, why do you think Chloe's going to stop you, bruh? And Chloe was in the comments, and he's like, I got my popcorn. Turn the camera on.
I'm sorry, it's emotional the manipulation they always try. Like, it's not going to work on us. Like, you can't violate women for so long, talk shit to us, and then expect us to feel bad for you. No, why would we? Like, we're vicious too. We can be vicious, just like, we are like vindictive whenever we need to be. And yeah, we don't care.
Exactly. If you do something stupid, we're going to call it out. We're going to hold you accountable. And whether you like it or not, that's just how it's going to be.
Hi, Crazy Bird.
Own your shit.
Yeah, also, he's told people to unalive themselves, so I don't know why he thinks anyone's going to care when he says he's going to.
Girl, he said that he was going to come to my house, pull me and my child out of my house, and unalive us.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
And he thought he wasn't going to have me come after him at all. Please. One thing you know as a parent is that you don't come after your
Yeah, you're cutting out a bit.
You do.
Unless it's with me.
They're all.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they always want to come after our kids, and then especially the ones that have the whole the lives about your kids are trans or like all of this stuff, or like they deserve GRC. I'm like, what would you? How would you not expect us to say something back, like to have a problem with that? You're talking about our children. Like, what?
Real. And then they get all triggered because they're wedding dresses on TikTok. Like, bro, you posted it. Come on now.
Yes, I am 6'1", Machiavelli. Yeah.
You're tall.
Yeah, I'm gigantic. But I'm just like a like,
really,
I'm not like
6'1"?
Yeah, I'm 6'1". Yeah. 6'1", 149 pounds. So I'm just like a giant size, like, regular woman. So like I'm not like big, but I'm just like tall,
Anyone believes that
regular woman.
Well, you know what I mean. Just like I'm not like I guess I'm not like people think like, oh gosh, you gotta be 300 pounds, I'm not,
No. There are models out there that are 6'1".
Yeah, I used to model when I was younger. I mean, many, many moons ago, but they're like, oh, she's definitely a man because she's tall like that. I'm like, yeah, there's plenty of tall women out there. They didn't know. Cute shoes. I actually don't. They started making shoes, and I'm in a size 11, so they actually have a bunch of really cute shoes at my size now. They used to not, but
they do.
I'm not 6 foot.
I'm in a size 10.
I'm size 11.
And I've found so many cute, adorable shoes.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Oh my God.
How many accounts does he have?
I don't know.
No.
Can we please
don't mind it
live and share it out, and let's get some opposition in here. Let's talk about it, and hopefully not have the same guy.
Yeah, I've got my shoes. Like, I usually get my shoes at like Macy's, Nordstrom's, Dillard's.
Check Marshalls, Ross's.
Yeah,
and
TJ Maxx.
They always have really good shoes in those sizes.
Same dude you did not request, mate. You're not in my request.
So please tell me how I am a woman just because I'm assimilating to be that because I have gender identity disorder. If anybody would like to tell me that, please come tell me.
It's because your small gametes identify as large gametes.
Yes! You're affirming me now.
They might swim, but they feel like eggs.
Oh, Baba.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Baba.
Do you have a burrito or a taco? Pocky and all the stuff.
A burrito or a taco?
I have a vagine.
I have an inverted
I bet you
taco.
this is the same guy.
Or whatever, burrito.
Yeah, it looks like it. Ghost.
Ghost Tiger, how old are you?
26.
Do you believe trans women are women?
No.
Oh, W. Gonna drop you down then, because we agree. What a breath of fresh air, not getting the N-word thrown at you for like a good 2 seconds. Double tap, share it out. Same dude, I've literally invited you like a few times now. I can confirm Sam Talks can't read. They're still trying to find the right dosage of HRT for Femtalk, so please excuse his erratic behaviour.
Yeah, he needs help.
Thanks, Mario.
Like, you can't try to like force people to believe that you are to like not believe what they're seeing and hearing with their own eyes and ears, and then get mad about it. Like, it just doesn't work like that. Just because you want something to happen doesn't mean that you can force people to believe that. It just doesn't work. And I know that you're used to getting your way, but it's just not going to happen. We refuse.
The world does not cater to it.
Yeah.
Also, not to do like a little drive-by right now, but Kung Fu, he like doesn't put any effort into like even trying to present as a woman.
Oh, bless, no.
Oh, no.
He's a lesbian, didn't you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's true.
And he also told me that at one time, whenever we were into, like, we always get into it, but he said that he is a what do you call it? Farm salesman on the block, and that he gets these girls that he's able to date. I guess I'll put it that way. These girls that come to visit him for his wares, I guess you could say, that are addicted to his stuff that he distributes. And I'm like, wow, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. But then he says he has a boyfriend. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
I don't even think he knows what's going on, to be honest.
I don't either.
They at all ever know what they're talking about when they say that they're a woman.
No.
No. They're delusional, narcissistic, and just plain crazy. It's just simple.
He says he's a GANG so.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I first started coming on TikTok, were you like a TRA?
I was
now
a TRA.
You switched over to the GCs.
Well, Amber went kind of, or you weren't like GC, but you were like kind of on our side for a little while, then you kind of went back over, and then you kind of came back.
No, I wouldn't say that. I still believed everything so in the beginning, when I came on TikTok to be, like, for the very first time, I was a leftist. I believed trans women were women, right? I did, but then, after listening to, like, Marty and listening to Chloe and hearing what they were saying, right, my beliefs started changing, and then they introduced me to Envy, and I heard Envy speaking, and it just took it from there, and then people were calling me out because of the fact that I ran an LGBTQI nonprofit for 4 years, and I didn't disclose every single thing about it, right? I was embarrassed about it, to be very honest, completely embarrassed. But then, got off the app for a little bit, and then I came back because Raven had, got in my ear, and then we're back full time, and I'm still saying the same stuff I was saying.
Welcome back. I think I debated you maybe once, when you were mates with Raven and stuff, but
yeah.
That's why I was so confused when I saw you on the GC side. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
No, girl, I've always, ever since, like I said, Chloe and Marty and I had been in those debate panels a long time ago, my viewpoint has changed, and,
I hear it.
Objectively, yes, we're male.
W.
I think it's dangerous for the doctors and things to even kind of give you the false hope that or any, I don't even know what they're saying, but I know I've asked so many trans people, I'm so did they ever, when you first started going to see a therapist or whatever, did they ever start to try to tell you that to love yourself for who you are and to be comfortable within your own body and accept what you are? And everyone says no, and I'm that is crazy to me. I think that would be the first plan of action,
So I have been in therapy since I was 6 years old, right? Oh yeah. There they are. So I've been in therapy since I was 6 years old. I got a diagnosis of gender identity disorder. My mother, and the therapist had conversations about it, and they came to the conclusion that I would just live my life as a gay man or a gay boy at that point, and that was okay. I mean, they wanted me to go through the natural process of my body changing, and that's fine, because that's how it's supposed to be. Because once you start intervening, then you are harming and creating far greater problems with your body at a later date.
Hi, Jay. Hello. Just quickly, Storm is in the chat telling everyone that females can get prostate cancer, which is just not true. It's not true at all.
Oh, God.
But Storm's a bit too scared to come up here and get absolutely dog walked. So I've invited a few of them, and they just won't come up.
Storm?
Life's nice.
Storm, it's not true. It says women cannot get prostate C-word in the way men do, since they don't have a prostate gland. It says they can develop the C-word in the Skene's gland, which are sometimes referred to as the female prostate.
No, it's not.
Kate,
you guys aren't calling it that.
Oh, this is Kate. How old is what it says on?
I'm 18.
Thingy.
Yeah, so technically.
Women?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you down then.
Tell all your friends, Kate.
I was gonna say, technically speaking, we do call it prostate schmancer for females. It just doesn't operate the same way, right? So
They don't call it that at all, actually.
We do for the medical term.
No, you don't.
Maggie, I can show you a source.
Well, I can show you a source as well. I'm looking at one right now. It's called female urethral and adenochrome.
Huh?
I can't
What?
pronounce that.
We agree with you, Kate. Trans women are men.
Yeah, we agree with you, Kate. Tell all your friends.
Put it in the chat, right? Just copy and paste the word in the chat, and I'll say it out for you, because I literally have to learn all these large words for my degree.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Because I can't pronounce that. AD.
Adenocarcinoma.
That's it.
Yeah, be still classified as a form of prostate cancer.
No,
Because
they don't.
if I can finish, basically how it works is it's known as the homologous structure, which we just call the Skene's glands. It's prostate-like, so we just call it prostate schmancer. We don't call it its own term. For example, like if you're saying it's not called prostate schmancer, what do we call it?
In females, that's not what it's called.
Okay,
and no
so then
doctor
in
would
females,
say
what's
that.
it called?
There's words that I can't pronounce. It's called female urethral. Whatever that is.
Adenocarcinoma. Yeah, adenocarcinoma references the spleen glands. We still reference it as a part okay, put it this way. We call it prostate schmancer, but it just isn't prostate schmancer. It's just prostate.
Wouldn't they call it skin glands? See?
Yeah, because they wouldn't call it prostate cancer in a female if it wasn't prostate cancer. No doctor would do that.
Like they're not going to call like a man's whatever something, I don't know, internal smancer, like ovarian smancer, right? That's what I'm like looking at it as. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't delved into it myself.
Say that again, Toff.
I said they're not going to call like a man's like internal, if he's like, I don't know, something to do with his reproductive, like a smancer in his reproductive system. They're not going to call that ovarian smancer, are they? That's what I'm looking at this as. Like.
Yeah, but let's say it was a male, right? And they had OTS, and they had let's say an ovotestes. They could technically still call it like ovarian schmancer. It just because it'll be ovarian-like. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but so is this only for people with like a DSD? They would call it that possibly, or?
We've just got another panelist, Post Office Malone. How old are you?
That's funny.
Thanks. I'm 31.
And do you believe that trans women are women?
Yeah, I think so. I think that if they go through the procedure, yeah, I'm not one of those people that thinks that if a man simply dresses up as a woman, they can identify as a woman. But if they go through the procedure of the gender operating procedure, yeah, they could identify as a woman.
Do you feel that's dangerous? Do you find any of that dangerous though? Just saying that any man can just get like a plastic surgery and then just identify as what I am?
It's not plastic surgery. They're actually.
It is plastic surgery. What are you talking about? It's all aesthetic. It's all aesthetic.
Well,
like they don't do anything with the internal organs. It's just the external. They're just taking the external male phallus and they're inverting it, and so they're trying to make it look like a taco, but it's not. It's still just an inverted male phallus.
When you classify it as plastic surgery, you're making it seem like you just described. It's just an aesthetic change that happens.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
But the reason why they go through that change is because deep down inside, they've always felt from a young age that they were the opposite gender. And
is this universal?
As in, this is what these people felt always.
No, I'm saying like, is it like a universal experience which all trans people go through as to where they felt though, as from young, that hey, I must be this other thing.
From what I've heard and from what I've actually discovered, yes, most of them they just don't.
I got asked if most
suddenly
is it
wake
universal.
Up. Yes, for the most part, it's universal.
You can't say that's counterintuitive. You can't say most part. Like you can't say
no. You're trying to make it a black and white issue. There's a lot of nuance in it. You're making it seem as though you could just say that every single one of them, every single trans person who decided to become to undergo that change.
Because you're referencing experience as though experience is what is like the determiner here. So I'm asking you, is there a universal experience which all trans people go through?
I mean, from what I've researched, yeah, it looks like that is what's motivating them to do so.
Okay, so can I ask you for the universal experience?
What universal experience what are you referring to?
You're saying, hey, most people have this experience from when they're young, that they feel as though they must be this other category, meaning that you're referencing some kind of experience. I'm saying, what is the experience?
Wait, you're asking me to describe how they arrived at that.
I'm asking you to tell me.
Bro, if you ask me a question, let me respond. I didn't even show up.
He's just clarifying the question,
speak
babe.
with you directly.
He's just clarifying the question for you.
Yeah, because you said something really interesting straight away, and I just
let
want
me
to clarify
respond
what
then.
experience is.
Let me respond then let me move on to the hostness. I didn't come here to even speak to you. Don't come at me.
Well,
with
we're
that
all
attitude.
on the panel together, babe. Yeah, like Pill's not being rude. He's just trying to we're just trying
then
to
when you ask the question, when I want to respond, let him allow me to respond. Don't interrupt me when I'm responding to you.
You're confused about it, so he was trying to clarify for you. We're not being rude up here. We're just trying to figure out where your argument comes from, right? We're just trying to dissect your argument.
Okay, yeah, then let me respond. What I was saying was, he's asking me to describe how they came to that conclusion. I would say, I mean, it could be in very different ways.
Yeah, that wasn't really his question, baby.
Okay, can you repeat your question again?
I'm
because
describe the experience. I'm telling you to ask. Sorry, I'm not asking you to describe it. I'm asking you to tell me what the experience is, not to describe the experience. Describing would just give me the connotations around the experience. Wait,
you tell me to tell you the experience as if I'm a trans person.
Well, you said everything you've read and studied. You said that there's some kind of universal experience, meaning that you must have read something as though you say all trans people must experience your X thing.
What I said was, these people have said that from a young age, they were convinced from a young age that they were different gender.
Okay,
so that's what I grasped. What I mean, I don't even know what your question is.
I'm saying, does every single trans person have this experience as to which you're telling us about? Does every single trans person question their identity while they're a child?
There is a possibility that some of them never actually felt this way at a young age. But I'm just saying that from what I've actually found out, most of them have said that they, from a young age, they felt like they're a different gender.
But how do we tell a difference between these guys and like other guys that are doing it for nefarious reasons? How do we tell a difference between the true trans and how are women supposed to detect on who's true trans, quote unquote, and who's not when they're using our spaces?
As in the people who are actually undergoing that gender affirming surgery.
Yeah, how do we know without checking their genitals, like who's the true trans and won't hurt us in our spaces where our pants are down, and who are just the bad ones? Like how do we know?
Well, again, when I said from the beginning, I don't think that anyone could just identify as a trans person. I don't believe that it is acceptable for anyone to identify as a trans person unless they go through the process of trying to not just identify as a trans person, but they need to go through the process of actually changing their going through the surgery and changing their appearance and stuff. So.
But that's just aesthetic. That's just aesthetic. They're not changing their smecks. We can't change our smecks, and so they're still males. And so why would we allow these males into our spaces? Like they're harming women and girls.
So when you say they're harming women and girls, I mean, is that actually based on studies, or are you just? No,
it's based on facts.
Like
four women in Alberta, Canada, were just raped in a women's DV shelter, a women's grape shelter by a TW.
I'd make the argument
that is an isolated situation.
To commit SA and grape in comparison to quote unquote cis men.
Yeah.
Per capita.
Yeah, for example, we can look at the evaluation of gender diverse offenders by Canada. We can look at the trans women offending rates provided by the MOJ in the UK. In the United States, I don't actually know what it is, but I know it's a part of one of your Freedom of Information Acts as to where someone will ask for the information, which you can ask Charlie Barley do on TikTok for.
Sorry, just before Dutch, how old are you? Hold on, post.
23.
Dutch, how old are you?
23.
And do you believe trans women are women?
Depends in what sense you mean. Biologically, no. Socially, yes.
You can be post officer's friend.
What's a social woman?
Yeah, could you tell me what a woman is?
Well, a woman is a social construct, so.
Well, it's not.
It is.
I mean, language is a social construct. So, but you
You
have to
don't think
understand, like,
gender is a social construct?
no, I don't. Because, like, well, like, you have to understand, we created language, right? Like, we existed, you know, males and females. We existed before we created language. We created language to describe the things that we see around us that already existed, right? Like rocks. We gave rocks the name rock. We gave tree the name tree. We gave one of us the name man, and then one of us the name woman, because we knew we were different. When together we can create new humans.
Yeah.
And then those new humans that are adolescents, we have to have words for them too, because we can't just say woman and that mean all female humans, because that would be very confusing. We have to have words for the adolescents, which is boy and girl. So we created those terms for static, actual, immutable things that exist, right? So those can never change, because the smexes themselves can never change. And the reason we have these words is just to differentiate between all the other males and females of all other species.
I would say it's flawed to say those can never change. You just admitted that.
Well, do you think smex can change?
So we can.
Well, no, I didn't. I said, do you think that human beings like can change smex? Do you think we can ever change smex in our lifetime?
I mean, it already happens.
No. Okay, can you tell me how that happens? Because this would be a big discovery.
The way you want to argue it, if you want to go into semantics, can we change it in a physical way? Like,
it's a semantic argument.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We can't really change it.
I'm asking you if we can change our smex, then you could have something go in there, right? But we can't change our smex. So that's why these traits are immutable.
I would agree with that.
We have words to describe the immutable traits that are never changing, because we cannot change them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But you also said language was invented by us. Meaning everything else comes from that. So when you say, oh, this is what a woman means and it can never change, you do understand that's a false equivocation. Because word can change, definition can broaden, you can have different meanings, you can add definitions, you can redefine. You can,
not within the same context, babe. Not within the same context. No, you can't, because that wouldn't make any sense.
It actually does, because
no, it doesn't. The words we have. Hold on. The words we have for immutable traits, like being a female, an adult human female, that's never going to change, because an adult human female can never change to be something else.
Okay.
We can never be something our opposite. We can never be adult human males.
But see how
the word for woman is not, and the word for adult human female is never going to change.
No, but you just did it. You did what you said
adult human female?
Yeah,
adult human female?
That's how we define properly things. Woman is
for all
else.
of human history, have we walked around saying adult human female, or do we say woman's history? Do we have women's rights? What word did we create to describe the adult?
I understand what you're talking about when you're using those terms.
So
because
when did we change it?
When
did we change the word woman to mean anything else besides adult human female? Please tell me when.
Very recently, actually.
Where is it changed at? Because in the dictionaries it says
you can
adult
look it up.
Female.
I
have looked it up, and it says adult human female. So where do you think we changed this at?
Let me just put it up right
The definition of woman is adult human female, and the reason that we've put it as such is because we acknowledge that biologically, the state of a woman is that the state of a woman is that their stage of development is sexually mature. So we call them an adult, we call them a human because that's their species, and we call them a female because that's their sex. We're literally only addressing, in that definition, we're addressing their stage of development, species, and sex.
Yeah, we have to have a word.
Can I ask?
Wait, let me ask you real quick. I'd like to know where that study that shows that trans people commit essay per capita is from.
You can check the Freedom of Information Act. I'm not sure where you are. What country are you in?
Trans women offending rape
I'm in the
diverse
US.
equation of our offenders.
Because I just looked it up.
Well, you have to look up it's going to be per country. It's going to be per country. So you can request the Freedom of Information Act in the U.S. to find you can have the offending rates broken down by transgender women, transgender men, men and women. You can have those broken down. It takes about 3 days to get the information back, possibly. But it is free to get, and then in the UK it's the.
I'll invite Charlie. Charlie to get it up.
To be honest, I kind of agree with you that I think it's less helpful to bring trans women into the woman category, I think just keeping trans women, or trans men would be no issue. Like if someone wanna identify as a trans woman, I don't think it's an issue. If someone wanna identify as a trans man, I don't think it's an issue. I understand the point. I understand the point that you want to differentiate because there's differences between the two and have them separate. And I think that's the issue. Is some people want to, integrate them to make them feel accepted, but I feel like you don't have to integrate into a category you're not part of to be integrated into society. And I agree with you on that point. I actually do.
And they shouldn't be using our spaces either. That's the problem. Like, women were just chilling. We were doing our own thing. We were going into the spaces that are delegated for us, that were already there, right? And then they are the ones who try to come in and invade and violate our privacy, our boundaries, our dignity, and our safety, right? We have a problem with that. Like, why wouldn't we stand up and say, no, get out? Like, that's the only problem. If they would stop fucking with us, we'd stop fucking with them.
Yeah, and I can understand.
How come when I look up all these different articles online, it doesn't actually show me that these trans people are actually more likely to commit this essay?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're looking up. I don't. No.
I just googled it, and every single one of these.
You can't just Google it. You have to go to the
But there are credible sources
prison.
on Google, though.
Okay, what's your source that you're looking at now that's supposedly credible? Please tell me. Is it the Williams Institute, UCLA? And we can't hear you when you're off the app. You have to be on the app to say it. You can write it down if you need to.
But
Williams Institute, the national.
I just said it. Williams Institute. Yeah, that's a UCLA study. That is self-surveyed of 100 trans women, and some of the questions in there say, "Have you ever been told to leave a bathroom, a woman's bathroom?" And they say yes. That's considered assault in that thing. So we don't use self-survey data. The data we're talking about is people that have actually been arrested and convicted of the crimes that we're speaking of. You can check that out by the Bureau of Prison Statistics. These are actual raw numbers of trans women that have actually committed these crimes, not self-survey data. So we have to understand what we're looking at.
What is the Bureau of what?
Yeah, for the U.S., it's the Bureau of Prison Statistics, and you can do a Freedom of Information Request Act. To request the information, and you can tell it what you want. You can have it broken down by trans women, trans men, and women.
Should I look at it right now?
You may be able. Well, I think Hill just invited Charlie because she's already done it before, and she already has the information. But you have to request it, and they can send it to you. But there's also the Ministry of Justice in the UK. There's similar stats there. I think you can just go on there and look at those. Also in Canada, they have their own stats. I don't know exactly what to look up on that one, though. Phil may know.
So there was a Freedom of Information request done in the UK in regards to England and Wales, which found that among prisoners who are born male, who currently now identify as trans women, approximately around 59% of them had at least one sex crime conviction. In comparison to, I think it's either 16.8 or 16.7% of male prisoners.
But those are just prisoners, though.
Yeah, they're prisoners who have been caught for doing the crimes. They've been caught. They got in trouble for raping women.
That doesn't include the other trans people who just use the bathroom safely and leave people in peace.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're saying that enough of these trans women that are men, they're just men, they're just like you with a dress. Enough of them have harmed women and girls. A lot of them in our spaces. We don't want any men in there. No males.
Wait, you just isolated criminals. And you just use it to make a broad generalization about how everything
I think what she's doing is
so maybe if you listen,
the risk.
I did listen. Wait. Let's
saying. So what we're saying is this: we're recognizing that trans women still engage in this male pattern rate of crime, right? It's just it might not be exceeding the rate for let's say male prisoners in general, but in relation to men, rates for trans men were like near enough on the same line, if not more, right? So all we're saying is...
Can you repeat that again? Sorry, my bad.
In relation to men, rates for trans women were approximately similar, right, or even potentially higher, right? So what we're saying is, hey, obviously not every trans woman is going to be a criminal. No one's saying that. But we're saying within a sense of pragmatics, right, or as a preventative to lower crime rates, if you recognize that trans women are still engaging in male pattern behavior, why should we allow them in a segregated space with other females? It doesn't make any sense.
When you said a trans woman, are you saying in relation to trans male prisoners or trans men in general?
I'm saying just... Okay, hold on.
I'm saying in relation to men, I'm saying males in general. For example, like
males in general.
Yeah, for example, if I go back to what I'm saying, right, 3.3% of female prisoners were only convicted of SA. If you look at all the stats in regards to trans women, we still recognize they commit SA and rape highly more than quote unquote women. And the reason as to why is because we recognize they engage in male pattern behavior, meaning they're going to be more likely to commit these crimes because they are male.
Okay, no, my question is, are you saying that the trans male who were actually, I guess, pulled during the study, and were actually studied during this, are you saying that they were more likely?
Isn't a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you like to get bogged down in semantics, I've noticed, but I'm saying that
it's really semantics because it's counterintuitive. When you're saying the word trans male, I don't know what you're meaning. So trans male doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Well, trans women.
Okay, trans women then.
So yes. So are you saying that these trans women who were convicted and stuff, are you saying that they're more likely to commit these SA than ordinary people who actually haven't been?
Mm-hmm.
They've
already committed the crimes, and they're in prison at a larger number than like for a larger percentage of them are in prison. No,
that's not my question.
Than regular men for harming women and girls.
No, my question is, are trans? Yeah, my question is, are these trans women, are they more likely to commit these SA crimes than cis men or not just normal men?
Yes, actually yes, which is surprising. Yes, like in every Western country, the studies are showing that. Yes, and that's just one reason, but that doesn't have anything to do with it. When women say no, we want our privacy when our pants are down or we're getting undressed. We don't want any males in there. That should be enough. Our no means no. We have the spaces that are designated for us for a reason. You guys have your own space. It's called the men's space. That's where trans women belong because they're men. They're males. And they're invading our space. We said no.
Haley, how old are you?
30.
And do you believe trans women are women?
Yes, but I came up to discuss the study you guys are talking about directly.
Well, it's not a study. These are just prison statistics. So, it isn't like a study. These are actual convictions.
Right, but you guys are focused on the percent and not the number of people. You're saying,
well, it doesn't matter,
56. Babe. It does matter when it's
this is per capita.
No,
this is per capita.
Right, but it matters when there's 100 trans women and 18,000 men.
That's not just 100 trans women, though.
But you're asking,
you're going off.
Wait, but this is
really funny.
Wait.
Percent being 56 and 60.
Wait,
but there's 18,000 men.
Please. This is really funny because if you look at the number, right, I don't disagree, it's only around 100 people. But if you look at the number as to how many recognized trans women there were in the UK, there was only 40,000. How many men in comparison to 16,000, right? So let's do some math. Right? I think it was like 127 or something of that sort. We do 40,000 divided by that. It works out to be around 1 in 250, right? Check the numbers if you don't believe me. But then if we do 16,000 men divided by the population of men who are in the UK by the Home Office, which is around like 27 million, I think, right? It works out to be around 1 in 1,800 and something. So once again, it doesn't change anything. You think, because it's a small number, we should just ignore it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's say hypothetically we did ignore it. How many SAs and rapes towards women should happen to them by trans women before we should bat an eyelid to it?
Exactly.
So what is the percentage of these trans women committing this SA to cis men actually committed it? That's my question.
Well, I can tell you right now, in the U.S., it's only 13% of, I don't call men cis, they're just men. It's only 13% of men that have done these crimes, and I think it's 41% of trans women have done these crimes. So they're doing it at a higher rate, even though they're a smaller number of men. They're still men. And so I don't give a shit if it's just one of them. We said no, and we're mitigating the harm. That's why whenever people whenever we didn't have if there's I don't care, but they're still men. But they're still men. We don't want any males in the females' restroom, the female spaces. We don't want any males in there. We have separate spaces for a reason. Everyone has a designated space to go to change their clothes, to eliminate their waste. Males have the men and boys have the male space, and women and girls have the female space. And if you have a problem with and you have to violate the other sex's boundaries, That is a you problem, and you should go to jail, and you will go to jail, because now we're having to make it illegal because you guys just won't listen. Like, I'm sorry, these aren't magical, separate type of people. They're just males. In the bathroom, I wash my face. Whoa, I can't hear it. You're like really distorted, like your voice.
Regardless of,
and I don't care what you do in the bathroom. Okay.
Regardless of how many people or how many trans women there are in the world and how many committing those acts, nobody should have ever committed those acts. No trans woman should have ever had access to a women's bathroom. No trans man should have had access to a men's bathroom. They're sex segregated for a reason. And if you're trying to justify men entering a woman's space by just putting on some lipstick and high heels, then you are honestly the problem.
Yeah, because we can't tell it any other way.
Are these crimes happening in those bathrooms?
Yes, some of them are, yes. Yes.
Okay, what are they actually studies that actually show that?
What does it matter? There are cases of it. I can give you tons of the cases if you really want me to. I'm more than happy to.
Because I just looked it up.
Wait, can I just say this?
That
you don't know how to look.
I think, one second. What we recognize about near enough every single essay in Grape by trans women is that it was done to females and children. So if we recognize it's happening to predominantly females and children, then I see no issue as to why we shouldn't make it as a preventative to not allow trans women in secluded spaces with female. If they're
did you say every single one of them?
Yeah, I don't think near enough every single one of them.
Post Office Malone, I'm going to list off 5 for you. Hold on. I'm going to list off 5, and I can give you the links to the cases as well. So we've got the first one. This is Reginald Arthurwell, a.k.a. Regina K. Arthurwell, which is a male to female, convicted of 3 homicides, ID'd as a woman following 2021 release from prison, charged in 2022 for sexual assault against an underage person. Tian Miller, male to female, groomed a 14-year-old, which happened to be a police officer, propositioning that said pretend 14-year-old for sex and saying, I have boobs and a C. Sentenced to 5.5 years in jail, no public record of male or female jail. The next one, Rachel Queen Burton. Guess what? Male to female. ID'd as a woman, but is a 44-year-old male, charged with 8 offences, including CSA. So I think you can work that out. And production of CSA material. How many is that? That's 1, 2. Is that 3?
There's also the guy that stopped and saw a young girl walking down the road, and he stopped and said, hey, your mommy sent me to pick you up. I'm your mommy's friend. The girl thought he was a woman, and so she got in the car with him. I think she was like 10, 8 or 10. I can't even say it. I'm just going to get so mad. But also, he raped her for 27 hours and made her call him mommy the entire time. She luckily, whenever he fell asleep, she was able to escape and went and told and got help.
Not only that, one second.
Hold on.
Just about some examples.
I've got one more that I want to share, which is absolutely disgusting. Peter Selby, who is also a trans woman, convicted, P3, avoided jail because the judge said he wouldn't cope in a male jail based on his gender identity.
So.
And this is like a 20-page document with all these different cases.
Yeah, and in case if you're wanting cases which only reference, women's spaces, we can look at Katie Dolotowski. Katie Dolotowski was a trans woman who literally premeditated a grape and essay, which isn't something you hear every day. And they said, hey, the reason I thought why I went and waited in a woman's bathroom was to purposely essay and grape a child. So what this person did, they actually got a pokey out, put it to the mother's throat, threw the child into a cubicle, and proceeded to grape them. We've seen cases such as Demi Minor, who was in the state of Ohio, where in a women's prison, they impregnated 2 other inmates. So that means they went to a women's prison with their peeskidil still attached. We've seen cases such as Desiree Anderson, who went to a DV shelter, a place where you're looking for safety from men. as to where they were essayed and grape in their bed.
Bro, we get your point. You're bringing up all these different experiences.
Well,
but
you wanted to hear about it. You didn't believe them.
For every single one of those experiences, you could bring up like 100 different cases of, normal males actually committing.
We're not talking about that. They're not the ones trying to get in our spaces. Yeah, they're not the ones trying to get in our spaces.
We do not want men in women's spaces. Trans women are the biggest threat to sex-segregated spaces because they impede on women and children's spaces, okay? It doesn't matter if there were 2 trans women that assaulted someone in a bathroom. It doesn't matter if there were millions, okay? The point is that they are not entitled to that space.
Wait, you still haven't even
for some reason, you cannot get that through your head.
Yeah, you still haven't even explained to us how socially trans women are women.
Yeah.
You're just saying, hey, they should be allowed in the space, or you keep asking us, hey, why don't you allow them in the space? But you haven't even given us a reason as to why we should allow them in these places in the first place, right? So, can you tell us as to why you think trans women are socially women? Can you tell us as to why you think trans women should use women's spaces?
Yeah, because they identify as women and they've gone through. Like I said, my position on trans people is that if they go through the surgery and they.
The majority of them don't have this. The majority of them don't have the surgery.
When you ask
the majority
me a question,
of them still have their phallus.
You just interrupt. Do you actually want to listen to
what
I'm
buddy.
saying?
Go ahead, Spud. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say yes. So it should be acceptable. And if we've discovered that the vast majority of trans people in these spaces are conducting themselves civilly, they're not actually endangering anyone, then they should be allowed to use those spaces.
Wait, where's this evidence you just said that we've come up with this? Where's this evidence that they're doing that?
Well, because you guys just brought up
Where's
all
your
these
evidence?
statistics.
Bring it up. And plus, it doesn't matter. And I don't care if they're giving us all $1 million when they come in there. We don't belong in the space.
I actually also want to ask this. Can you tell me what the necessary or sufficient if the condition of being a woman is?
Well, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, so when you say trans women are women, what's the necessary or sufficient condition in order to being a woman?
Well, you just have to be a woman. You just have to.
Yeah, how? I'm saying what's the necessary condition to identify as a woman?
I would say you could just do feminine things. You can do whatever women do.
So, you can't say do whatever women do if you don't know what a woman is. It's like saying, hey, a car is something with car parts. How can I know what a car part is if I don't know what the car is itself? So do you think a woman is just a feminine being because feminine men exist?
And masculine women exist. I'm pretty aggressive, to be honest. So.
Who exists as a masculine tomboy?
Yep.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Pooh is literally the Ronnie Coleman of tomboys.
I bet you if you saw me, you'd clock me as a man. But I'm actually a woman.
So I just came up here to give another example. It's not really pertaining to the bathrooms, but on Reddit, there's 2 new cases. Actually, one of them is kind of weird and added to this study of course, puberty. A 3-year-old where the trans woman who was a father had that gel on his body and sent the baby at precocious puberty at 3 years old.
Oh, God.
Who left?
So that just tells you that's an issue, too, because I'm not saying it can't be fathers, but, it was just through skin contact.
Ew.
I can't believe Posty ran.
Oh. Wait,
Terrell?
Can you
Terrell, how old are you?
Yes. Oh, I'm 29. I'm going to hop off real quick, but I just wanted to say, because I was sitting here listening to the whole thing with my teeth clenched, really upset. But Sir Pillis, I knight you king, because the way you held him to that question that just shut it down is exactly what I wanted to do. Bravo, my dude. You did what you did. That's all I got to say. And women on this panel, much respect. Y'all are doing your thing. Keep the good fight going.
Thanks, Terrell.
Love you, Terrell. I've given you a follow.
Pill Papa. Sorry.
Mate, Phil, I can hear your head just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Don't worry, it'll go back down once I'm in the clouds.
Hold on a sec. Krios, how old are you?
Well, he's up to rape somebody. Yeah, bigger.
Oh my God, what a dork.
Can I just ask for Guts' like necessary condition as to what it means to being a woman? Because Guts believes women are trans women are socially women.
Who?
I think I might be starting to come around Guts. Guts, you still there?
Oh, I thought you said Doc. I was like,
no.
talking about?
Guts.
Oh wait, Haley thinks trans women are women as well. Actually.
Oh yeah, Haley does. Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, Haley, can you tell me what the necessary or like sufficient condition for membership when it comes to the category of woman is?
You have to have a Costco card.
Haley,
I'm just saying, I genuinely believe philosophy like backs up, the definition of woman being adult human female. Like if you can look at Aristotelian essentialism, right, which basically Aristotle's metaphysics classifies things based upon like substance and essence, right? So a human being's smexed body is a part of the essential nature, such as form and matter. Thus, being female.
I'm driving right now. I'm driving right now. I'll come
That's
back.
Legal.
In 20 minutes.
No worries.
Skateboard. Say you're on your skateboard. Yeah.
I'm on a skateboard, so I'll come back up in a few minutes.
No worries.
Do you want me to mute or do you want me to drop down or just mute?
You can mute. You're on your skateboard if you want.
Okay. It actually goes against TOS to have someone else who's in their vernacular.
I know. Yeah, I think Haley was on somebody's panel yesterday, and I mean she's respectful at least. But I think Martha was talking to her.
Yeah, I met her before.
I can't lie. I did a rage bait live last night, and it raised some eyebrows.
Oh, I triggered Puck in the comments last night.
No, I just had like BLK intersexual feminists going crazy, calling me a racist.
Doc, have you ever debated Puck?
I've been trying. I called him out every single time. He doesn't want to debate me. He just goes on his pass out.
Every time when I see
rages on me, like I will say something and then he'll bring me up and he'll go, "Poot, you're a idiot," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right, mate. Say it, don't say it."
He actually kind of had like a mental breakdown because like how Puck has a picture of him just as Negan.
Yeah, no, it's so annoying. Oh my God.
Yeah. So he went to me. He said, "Pill, why do you name yourself after a rapist?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "One of your accounts are called Pill Cosby, which is obviously in reference to Bill Cosby."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Yeah," I said, "I have a dark sense of humor, the same way as to how you dress up as a rapist in your profile picture, Puck." He was like, "Well, like, what do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, you've seen The Walking Dead." He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, then you realize that Negan, essays and grapes, and, tortures numerous people in the series. In the comics, he's actually labeled as a rapist. And yet, for some reason, you decide to dress up as him at Disneyland, which is quite interesting." I think it's okay.
At Disneyland? Oh my God.
Yeah, so I was like, "So do you think it's okay to dress up as a rapist at Disneyland?" And he was like, "No, it's not." He was like, "Well, I was actually like doing it for like this mug." I was like, "How is what? You did it because you was holding a Disney mug?" Like, what?
So funny.
And then the other time,
I can't imagine being that big of a wuss, like waking up and like bitching about. So stupid.
I just rage bait Puck now. When Puck comes in my lives, I invite him. He'll say like a word, and he'll be saying it like calm and collective, like he does at the start of every conversation. And then I'll just mute him. I'm like, "Puck, calm down." And then he starts getting agitated. He's like, "I am calm, Pill. Maybe if you stopped fucking muting me." And then I'm like, "Pill." So I'm like, "Puck,
I think the best crash out from him was Charlie sent me that clip.
Oh, she sent it to me too.
Oh, that was like one of the most I've ever seen him get really pissed off.
He's been worse, believe it or not.
Back in the day.
I'm gonna have to
He's crashed out on me a million times now, and same with Sebastian, the real like funky acting guy.
OG Puck made like Katie look like a saint. Like, put it that way. Like genuinely, OG Puck.
Dylan Mulvaney.
OG Puck is like, okay, you know how Katie like throws like everyone unalive if you're a bigot, right? Like Katie, like OG Puck was just him on steroids. Like he would like Puck would go to the extent of saying, "Your family, your friends, your co-workers. If you associate with that person who supported Trump, then leave my country." I was like, "Whoa, okay." I was like, "You're not even an American, bro."
I actually have like his head, like his voice stuck in my head right now, of him going, "Poot, I cannot deal with your bigotry any longer."
That's all you can say.
I can't with the fucking clicks, bro.
Bro, the last time I actually spoke with Puck, he made me engage in some weird hypothetical, bro. He was like, what was it? He was like, "Oh, Pill, I want you to imagine, right, that you had Megan Fox, right? And then Megan Fox put a blindfold on you, and then, you know, a man came into the room like myself and asked you off." And I was like, what kind of like weird hypothetical is this?
Is this Bait Bus from a website? Come on now. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, it's just that's kind of like sexualizing right there. He's a weirdo.
How did you answer the hypothetical?
I just said, the question is like, would I be gay or would I still be straight? And I said, well, it was great by deception. If you're going to be like totally honest, I just didn't know.
Yeah, those hypotheticals.
Oh, not NT Brian. Come on, tell me about it, buddy.
Have you guys ever heard of Crip Putnam's casual theory of reference?
No.
Me neither.
No. Is this some sort of like joke?
No.
No. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, Guts, did you change your mind on the whole thing so you don't believe women is just a social category now?
Well, I've always been iffy, but I guess you kind of helped me clarify where I stand on it. And I do think it's different. I don't understand why they want to integrate so much in the categories. I feel like it's even harming them because you have a distinct experience, you have a distinct, you're not a woman, you're something else, and it's fine. Just embrace it, right? Just like if you embrace being trans so much, just stick with it. And I think a lot of trans people do say that. I don't know if it's the overwhelming majority that want to be viewed as a woman. I just don't understand. It's like me. If I'm phenotypically, I don't know, like male, a black male, why would I try to identify as a white man, right? Or a white male, white female? It would make no sense. And that's kind of how I view it. I'm like, you're not the typical woman, so don't try to be a typical woman. Just embrace the new thing, the new thing that you created, the new group that you're part of, right? I don't know if it makes sense. I don't know if that's how you view it too.
I just view, I mean, trans women are just men. That's kind of it.
I mean, that's how I view it too, because ultimately you're a male that identify as a woman. That's how I would like define it. You're still a male, but you're identifying as a woman, and you present yourself as one. You present yourself as one, but your biology doesn't really change. And where I kind of like align, I guess, with more of you guys' defense is when they try to implement the change, like physically, like doing surgery and stuff. I just think that's way too far. Like, I don't even know why it's around.
What do you mean? Like when you hold on, Crystal. How old are you?
21.
And you believe trans women are women?
I don't really care. Like, trans women are just trans women. I debate topics about like them in women's spaces and like kids on hormones and stuff. Like, I don't really focus on like who's a woman and who's not. Like, I don't really care.
Okay, hang tight just 1 second, and then we'll jump into that. Guts, I'm gonna drop you down. So thank you so much for coming up, having a respectful conversation. Yeah, feel free to come up whenever. Thanks, mate.
Guys,
All
can
right.
we get an L guts in the comments, guys? Can we get an L guts?
Can we get an L pill in the comments, please?
Just remember, I'm Asian and a Muslim, and I come from several other minorities. So I can label you as several isms and phobias.
How do I